Both drivers are door to door as they head towards turn 1 and 2. They make contact. Around both of them go.
Incredible race out there tonight, drivers. Thank y'all so much for putting on such a great show for these fans. There was side-by-side action, clean, good, hard racing. Thank y'all so much for what y'all did for these fans. And give them a wave as you come down the front straight.
Everybody to another episode of From the Tower. This week, we got a father and son duo. Father's Day is coming up.
Yep.
And what better to have a Father's Day event than a father and son duo? I'm a little tongue-tied tonight. I don't know what's going on.
It's all good. We're just getting rolling.
It's all the caffeine, I guess.
Yeah.
But anyway, we got Jay and Brantley Day. Guys, how are y'all doing tonight?
Doing good.
Man, we were talking. Me and Logan sit down, and Davey, when he was here, we talk about amazing guests we'd want to bring on. Mm-hmm. And one of the first names that popped up was obviously you, JJ. I mean, anybody that knows Southeast racing around our area knows the name JJ Day, I feel like. You just raced for so long and have done so much. So if you don't mind, kind of get into your story of how you got into racing and some of your accomplishments.
Well, I appreciate that. And, this is where it started. Was right here. Ran Stinger cars back in 2004. Is when I got my start, which I've been around it since this place was dirt with my dad racing, and so I've been around it my whole life. We started here in 04, Stinger cars, ton of fun. The racing was just different back then, and just had a lot of fun racing with my dad and my cousin Jonathan, and just doing it together. We were out in the shop every day, just family. And that's how I got my start.
Yeah, and then now you got Brantley along with you, and Brantley racing some go-karts this year, but right now got the broken arm. Have you enjoyed racing the go-kart so far?
Yeah, it was fun. The other couple weekends ago, got third, practiced, and qualified. Well, the qualified didn't really go good because we broke, and then the heat race, we broke again, and then feature, we started dead last, and we finished third. I'm glad I got to get podium that night. Yeah,
it was a good run for sure.
Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, I think you came out and ran like a Mighty Mite race or a junior champ race a few years ago.
I raced Mighty Mike's a few years ago. I was like 4 years old.
Yeah.
And
I know we don't have winners and losers, but I remember you finished first that night. I'm pretty sure.
You crossed the line
first night
first.
out. So
yeah. He ran that Mighty Mike twice, and then that was like when he was 4. And then baseball started right after that, and man, we've just been hard at it with baseball since then. Doing the travel ball is spring, but it's really year round,
right? And
it's every weekend, it's practicing every week, and if you're gonna do it the right way, with travel baseball, it takes a lot of time and a lot of effort, just like it does with racing.
Yeah. So. I was fixing to say, I played baseball growing up a little bit. I was never good enough to be invited to the travel ball team, so congrats to you on getting on the travel ball team. How much do you enjoy baseball? Obviously a lot, but is that kind of your focus, obviously, is baseball right now?
Yeah, baseball's fun. I came out here racing, though, and it was just funnest I've ever did. Like, I just liked it a lot. But baseball's my thing, and I want to be a baseball player, and that's just how I do it. I just like baseball, and I started baseball whenever I was, 7 years old.
You started baseball when you were 4.
4?
Man, time flies, huh?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Even at that young of an age.
Right.
Yeah, it's just the reason why I kept them out of the go-kart once we started, and we just went to baseball, because I know how much time, effort, and money that racing takes. Like, I've been there, I've done it. There's a lot of times where I don't know how my dad funded it all.
Right.
I can't believe it. I can't imagine the stress that he went through, to run the races that we did together. We would run the full season at Five Flags and a full season at Mobile, and he would put 4 tires on the truck every race. And I just, to this day, I don't know how he did it, and just very thankful for him for doing that for me. And I know that I can't do that, and I'm not going to the racetrack if I can't put 4 tires on a race car for him.
Yeah.
Because you're not winning without it.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah. It got that way in the, late 2000s, early 20 teens to where, I know Bobby went around to everybody in the super stock division one night and was like, "Hey, let's all just do like 2 tires tonight."
Right.
And then everybody backstabbed him, and
Yeah.
they all put 4 on. And he went to every one of them. He's like, "I tell you what, that car will not go back on the track without
Yeah.
4 stickers on it."
Yeah,
And,
just don't go if you can't do it.
yep.
Because it
And-
makes that big of a difference. And we did it all the way. Me and Dad raced together from '04. Never skipped a beat pretty much all the way until 2015 is when I got the call from the Pressler brothers, with Tommy Pressler and Kevin, Rick, Douglas, and Flat Top. That's when they gave me the opportunity to drive the late model,
Yeah.
late model. And we jumped on that deal quick. And I've been driving for them ever since. So it's 2016, I think, is when 2016 is when I ran my first late model race with them. And here we are 10 years later,
Yeah.
still driving for them. You know, we don't race as much as we used to, but we're getting back into it now. So we got the truck, and now we got the Outlaw. And, you know, so we're going to get back at it here pretty soon.
Well, speaking of the truck, you know, I think you're going to win finish of the year at Mobile for the Lee Fields race. That was an incredible finish
man.
between you and Grant Thompson here a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, we had a hot rod that day, man. Unloaded at practice Thursday, was really, really fast. So we didn't touch it, and showed up Saturday, and we just qualified and was able to get the pole. And then in the feature, man, we were able to get out front. Had a pretty good lead, about a 6 truck length lead, and I was just kind of riding, saving my tires. We had a really good truck. And I started smelling the clutch. And you know how that is. When you're leading, you think, oh, the brakes are about to lock up or something.
Random vibration.
And I started smelling the clutch, and I'm like, no, I'm just thinking that. And then, so I just kept driving, and then slowly started catching me, and I'm like, my tires are not even hot. How is he catching me? We get to Victory Lane, did our thing there. By the time I got to Tech, the whole truck was just full of smoke, and I could smell it. And I'm like, okay, so the clutch really was bad.
Yep.
Got it to the shop. Guys got it up on the lift. Clutch is completely burnt out of it.
Yeah. So
So
it was
I'm
slipping the whole time. Didn't have
Yeah,
any
it was
straightaway
well,
speed.
it started slipping towards the end of that race.
Right.
And luckily, when he won my lap, he would have had me.
Yeah.
You know, anybody else, I wouldn't have been worried. But Grant Thompson, obviously,
He's been dominant this year.
yeah, he's
in
great.
trucks.
I mean, he's
So-
just great. Yeah, he's good. You know, and he started with his dad just like I did.
Yeah.
So I've always been a fan of him and his dad. So, yeah, I was lucky enough that we got to make it to the end of that one.
Yeah, that was a really fun one to watch at the flag stand too.
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
one of the ones to where y'all cross, and I turned to Logan and was like, "All right, who won?" Because I couldn't tell. I couldn't tell from the
I had to go to
stand.
scoring.
That's the scariest part. Like you just said it. You got to go to scoring, which is who has the transponder
in the right
further
spot.
forward on the truck.
Right.
Exactly.
You know, so I mean, I've watched. I believe it was Bubba Winslow and Randy Thompson years ago. In the picture, I don't remember who won. I don't remember what it was, but one of them was clearly ahead. But on scoring, it was
showed
the other guy.
car. Yeah.
So the other guy got the win. I don't remember who
Yeah.
it was, but who got the win or whatnot. But yeah, I mean, it was. I had to ask. I was like, look, I think I beat him. Did I win?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So that was
I
awesome.
think I won, but what does the
Yeah.
computer say?
Right,
Because
yeah.
that computer is the
Yeah.
tell all, right?
Yeah, that one meant a lot to us, man. That was our 9th Lee Fields Memorial win. And, you know, a lot of people say the Snowball Derby is the biggest race of the year, and it is. But for me, my whole life has been the Lee Fields
The Lee
Memorial
Fields
race.
Memorial.
That's the biggest race of the year for me.
So
especially after they started doing the championship belt.
Yeah.
It makes you
Man.
want it even that much
So
more.
That's the crazy part is I've got 9 total and 2 belts.
Yeah.
yeah.
I got all the trophies there in my garage. And when Gina had the track, I won 2 of them while she was there, and they're the wrestling rings on top of the trophies.
Right.
Yeah, I
They're
remember
awesome.
those.
They are awesome. But the belt this year, Chris Morton and Eddie went all out. The belts they're awesome.
Oh man, they look like NFL championship rings. Like they're all
They're
jacked
great.
out with jewels and stuff. They look
they're
sick.
diamonds. Everything may be fake, but they look awesome.
Yeah.
They look awesome. It's a really nice piece. It really is.
Yeah, and then so the Lee Fields Memorial Race, right? And we talk about how long we've been around racing. To see the pits that packed at Mobile is such a beautiful sight because that used to be every Saturday night back in the day.
Yeah, I was telling somebody the other day, the grandstands I think didn't open till 5 or something or 4. I was like, man, if you weren't in those grandstands by 3 o'clock, you weren't getting your seat.
Right.
You were going to sit wherever was available.
Right.
And me and my grandpa, we used to park across the interstate. Not the interstate, across 90 in that little parking spot, right? A little parking
The
lot
little dirt
across
patch.
Yep.
That's been there
Used
forever.
to park right there, walk across the train tracks in the stands. That way, when the race was over, we could just walk right back across because it was so many people there
Oh, yeah.
to get out.
Yeah, that's what I was telling Logan. We always said in turn 4 when I would go with my grandpa.
Yeah.
That's how I started going to Mobile.
Yeah.
Turn 4 was our spot, and we had to be there before the ticket booth opened. We had to watch all the practice, all the qualifying, of course, the rest of the race night. So it was just family tradition, is what it sounds like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I
my
mean-
grandma used to. This was before they had the time and scoring up, the race monitor. So my grandma would write down lap times, and you see it all the time popping up on Facebook, on the people's memories. Just be a sheet of paper with everybody's name and their lap times. She used to do that just for fun.
Man,
I know my mom used to do. Do y'all do your own thing for qualifying, where somebody on the crew writes down the lap times and then they'll give you your lineup for the race? I know my mom used to do that for
Back
every race.
then we did.
Yeah.
That was what my grandma would do that.
Yep.
Back then she would do that. And now, obviously, Race Monitor kind of just took over all that.
Yeah, I forget about Race Monitor.
Yeah, that kind of just
crazy.
took over everything. Yeah.
Because you would not believe how many parents get super upset if we don't have Race Monitor online.
Yeah,
that way they can see their lap time.
Exactly. It's one of those things you don't know how awesome it is to have it unless you don't have it.
Yeah.
Like this past weekend here.
Yeah. It was rough.
That's I don't know if you know this, but my wife does time and scoring for both tracks.
Okay.
And so when
I
she
know that.
when she gets to the track, that's the first thing she does. She makes sure Race Monitor is up and running because she knows people are going to be on her.
Oh yeah.
If it's not up.
I need my lap time.
Yeah.
And I can remember, I bet nobody sells those clipboards anymore that have the dual stopwatches at the
I've
top.
got one sitting in the garage and we don't even take it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a stopwatch that I bring every week, and I've never broke it out.
Now, Mr. Tommy, he'll my car owner, he'll sit there and clock him with his stopwatch, and then he'll have Race Monitor.
Yeah.
He's like, look how close I am.
He's testing himself.
And he'll be right on the money most of the time too. It's pretty awesome.
My grandpa was the same way. He would, Bobby would go out to qualify, and he would clock him on his stopwatch just to see how close he could get to the time.
That's right.
So-
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome.
So going back to the Pressler brothers, like you said, they offered you the ride. They've been racing for so long.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, when I was a kid, David Hutton with the modified, he's literally one of the reasons that my favorite number is 84, because you take 42 times 84, or 42 times 2 is 84. That's where my favorite number comes from.
That's awesome.
Plus you throw in Bubba Gill's 83 plus 1, 84. So that's how I got my favorite number. Literally was from the Pressler brothers 42.
I got you.
Awesome. So talk about a little bit of the Pressler brothers, man. I mean, they've had a race car for so long, so obviously they got everything down to a science.
Oh, and they build everything right there.
Mm-hmm.
It's they're a full out race team.
Mm-hmm.
They don't play. I mean, when it comes to racing, they it's a serious thing. And when I was, and just say in 2016, we weren't doing any travel ball, nothing like that. So I mean, it was one of those things where you're at the race shop every night. Here lately we've been been very busy these past few years. Hadn't been able to been there as much as I need to be, but we're fitting to get back at it. They've been doing it a long time, man, and they've won championships. We've won championships together. They've won multiple snowball derbies, and we have one with them too as well. And they won championship with me in the truck, the Outlaw, and then also with Jerry Golf. They were a big part of that championship with Jerry when he won that championship as well. So
Gotcha.
yeah, they're great to have on your side. That's for sure.
Yeah,
it's turned into a family more than just a race team now. So it's pretty awesome.
Well, Logan, I mean, the Pressler brothers, like I said, have been on the track forever, and it's one of those stable teams that you see in Mobile week in and week out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they were there every week. Normally, back whenever Bob Karcher was alive, he parked right beside him with the Bob Speed Shop trailer.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
And they have that spot. I think it's reserved for them, honestly.
It used to be.
Yeah.
It was. Yeah.
And so it's one of those things where they park in the same spot every week, and they're there, and they're always a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure Bob's Speed Shop is still on the Outlaw today, right?
Oh, it will be forever.
Yeah.
That's one of those things that will be forever. He was a huge part of the whole program that they had. They eat lunch. They used to eat lunch together every day. This is where we're going. It was every day.
When Flat Top worked there,
Yeah, he
you
did.
know, and
Yep.
he was there
Oh, yeah.
every day. There was times where I'd walk in and Bob would be asleep in the back in
Oh,
a chair,
yeah.
and so you know, and you'd have to wait for him to wake up, and then he'd
Yeah.
come out and be like, "What you need?" But there were so many times where you know if you didn't have the money that week, he'd let you take things on credit,
100%.
and then just
Yes.
come pay him whenever you had the money.
Yep.
And
He done that with a lot of people.
yeah,
He's done that with me multiple times, and he's done that with a lot of people.
yeah. And so we went there I was racing soapbox derby, and we went there to get bubble goggles to be able to
Yeah.
run, you know, a little more aerodynamic. I still have my amber pair of bubble goggles at the house.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah, he was a great guy, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was awesome. And also that goes back to one of those things as well. Like, you know, you don't understand how important race monitor is. It was the same thing with him.
Mm-hmm.
When he was at the racetrack, if something happened, it wasn't a big deal. Let's just run over there and grab it.
Oh, yeah.
Bob will have it. And,
Bobby,
you know,
Bobby had to buy a pair of gloves from him one night because
Yeah.
he went to put his own whole glove
yeah.
ripped in half.
I mean,
And
he
so-
would have parts, just
Mm-hmm.
whatever. And then you know, the ownership of I don't even know if it was ownership, but different people come in to run the racetrack, and eventually he didn't have his spot anymore.
Right.
So, you know, he stopped showing up, and that very next time that he wasn't there, something happened. Somebody walks over, and they're coming over to the 42 trailer, and we're like, no, that was Bob. You know,
Yeah.
he's not here.
Right.
Yeah.
Give him a call. You might be able to go get it. you
Yeah.
know?
And you
so convenient having him there. You know.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I could attest just from listening on the radio on the weekends, you know, somebody breaks in practice
Yeah.
at Mobile and, you know, they'll call up looking, hey, this truck's got to get out. They got to go get a part so they can race tonight.
Yeah.
We got to let them out of the gate,
Yeah.
you know, in between practice sessions. So,
Whereas with Bob had everything in the trailer.
was there.
right. He was
Yeah.
there.
And 90% of the time, it wouldn't be in Bob's speed shop because it would be out in the trailer.
Right.
That's
and
right.
you'd go up to Bob's speed shop and you'd be like, hey, I need this particular spring. You'd be like, all right, give me a minute. I got to go dig it out of the trailer.
Yeah, that's true.
Walk out to the trailer and take it out.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it was parked out back. I
It
never
was.
really knew where
It
the
was.
trailer was in
Yep.
relation to the building, but
Yep.
he'd go out a back door and he'd come back in a couple minutes later and he'd have the parts you need.
That's
Right. Well, I know this past weekend you paid crew chief with Faith Finney. And
So Dad does everything for Faith. I'm not going to take any credit for her.
Gotcha.
She did finish third. She is getting better and better every race.
yeah.
And that's awesome. You know, that's awesome. My sister and Jeremy, you know, they put a lot into that. And my dad just really, he's not a go-kart guy.
Right.
So it aggravates him. He gets frustrated with it. I can see. And then when she does that, finishes top three. Who
Right.
cares? Yeah, she
Yeah.
finished third, but who cares? She finished the race
Right.
and had fun, which is what matters.
Right.
And you know, to see Dad, the look on Dad's face, he was so happy.
Right.
And I know
So
we
just
talked
makes it
about
worth
it
it.
a little bit before, you know, we came in here to talk and everything,
Yeah.
but, you know, you're fighting tires mostly all year.
Yeah.
Just wore out tires on that
Yeah.
go-kart and it wasn't
Yeah.
under. And
Right.
so you could tell it never set getting into the corner.
Right.
It would just constantly
Yeah.
be coming out from under the whole corner. And so I even said something to Tim the other night. I was like, man, this is the best Faith has looked all year.
Yeah.
And, you know, I wait till after the races because I'm always worried that if I
Yeah,
say
you're
something during,
jinx her.
I'm a jinx them.
Yeah.
And so
You've got that
No,
Fox
she's
Sports
doing
jinx
great.
I know,
feeling.
man.
Yeah, you talk
Yes,
about them on, and
that's
then they
right.
go and crash or something.
Yeah, she's doing great. I'm crew chief in I don't even want to call it crew chiefing because I don't know what I'm doing on these go-karts. But I'm here to support Cooper
Okay. Yeah.
as well, which is Rusty McCarron's son.
Cooper
and, you know,
McCarron.
Rusty's done so much for me and in life, racing, all of the above. He's he's a really good friend. So anything that I can do to help, I'm going to do it. And Cooper is getting, he's having a lot of fun.
Right.
You know, they did the baseball thing. He's a McCarran, so he's going to be an athlete at something. You know,
Right.
So they've done baseball, and they don't think he likes it very much. They've done soccer, and he's really good at it. Now he's going to be doing some basketball, but then they brought him down to race, and he's good at it. Instantly, he was good at it, and he's having a ton of fun.
well, that's the most important
He's
thing.
having
Yeah.
a ton of fun.
Especially
well,
in
it always
light of-
goes back to mama,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
It goes back to
Exactly.
mama. If mama sees that the kid's having fun, they're
Yeah.
gonna be able to do it.
Right.
Same with him.
I was told,
Same with
you know,
him.
he's
Same thing.
He's one of the only kart kids that's running a actual like containment racing style seat.
Yeah.
I was told that was a stipulation from mom.
Well, that was all me.
Okay.
I take
I
credit
got
for
you.
that.
Okay.
So I know it's slowing him down because you want to be lower. But when Cooper came down for the very first time, he was on a regular seat, in a regular go-kart seat, and took off. And it was so fast, it scared the crap out of me
Yeah.
because I'm the one, helping work on it. And I'm just like, it just freaks me out.
Right.
So we had him on a radio so I could talk to him. And I told him, stop. He stopped. I went up there and I turned the thing down where he couldn't go as fast.
Right.
It was all while I just bent the thing so he couldn't get as much startle. Just scares me. So the next thing I'm like, I've seen these things with full seats in them before. I was like, let's do it. Let's try it. And he had help from Jeremy, his cousin, which is Jackson. Jackson.
Yeah, Jackson
right?
House.
Yeah.
Jackson House. Okay.
So that's their cousin.
Okay.
Okay.
Kin.
I did not know that.
I knew
Yeah,
the
so they're kin,
McCarrons.
yeah.
I knew the McCarrons were a huge supporter of Jackson.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was a
So
family deal.
Jeremy and Rusty are cousins.
Gotcha.
Gotcha.
So actually, Jeremy put the seat, fabbed it in, mounted it, did all that, and it's very, very safe.
Yeah.
So that's one of those things, and that's one of them things that we showed Mama. Look, this is a real race seat.
Oh yeah.
Like he's good.
I know.
That's a real race.
Yeah,
seat,
no, he's good.
Yeah.
I mean, and then the restraints on his hands. I mean, I didn't. I told her, I was like, look, don't take this the wrong way, but if he flips, nothing's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He's just
can't
gonna sit there like that
Yeah, he
before
can't
a
go
ride.
anywhere.
Yeah.
His
That
hands
was-
can't fall out. Like
That was a selling
he's
point I
in
had to
there.
do with my daughter's mom. Whenever she
Yeah.
made her one Mighty Might start out here, and she was
Yeah.
like, "I'm good."
Right.
So, but it was
Yeah.
one of those. She threatened me. She was like, "If she gets hurt, I'm
Right.
gonna hurt you." And
Exactly.
I was like, "I understand,
Yeah.
but I have I bought the LaJoy
Yeah, oh, yeah.
containment
Oh, yeah.
thing, and she
Yeah.
had everything that she needed."
Yeah.
And
Well, he got into a little wreck going off into one the other night, and I asked him, I was like, "What'd you do when you wrecked? What happened?" He said, "I just turned. I hit the brakes after we wrecked. I turned left. I stomped the gas, took off.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was good.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's perfect. It didn't
Kept
scare
on.
him. He's good to go.
Kept
Yeah.
on going.
Well, and that's the great thing about the Mighty Might division is, we don't throw a caution in that division unless we absolutely have to.
Right, yeah.
Because, we have such varied experiences
Yeah,
out there. You have
yeah.
some kids that never slow down for the caution.
Right.
You have some that, you could be standing in the middle of the track and
Yeah.
they'll just look at you as they go by you. And-
Blow by you.
Exactly. And
Full
so-
speed.
I was worried about that first. So, like the very first time he raced, I had a radio on him. Didn't know you weren't allowed to have them.
Yeah.
But I put one on him anyway, and it was just I just wanted to tell him,
Right.
Hey, slow down. Mainly the whole goal for having that radio that night was for him coming off the racetrack.
Right.
I was worried when he comes off the racetrack, is he going to remember slow down? But he's doing perfectly fine. So
We had a Mighty Might this
Yep.
past weekend, actually, that he would go out, and I think it was practice.
It was practice.
He would make one lap, and he would go flying up to stop and go.
Oh, see,
And
that's what I was
wide
worried
open.
about.
yeah,
I was
mine
worried about
two
that.
up to stop
Oh
and go.
yeah, and then he'd get up there and he'd stop, and they'd send you back
Yep.
out. He'd
Yeah.
make one more lap,
Okay.
straight back up to stop and go. And so, but that's what when they come out here and they practice for the first time or they test.
Yeah.
that's what they're doing. They're making
That's
a
right.
lap or two, and then they'll pull back up
Yeah.
there, or somebody's down there on the track with them to kind of give them
Yeah.
signals and stuff
Yeah.
like that. But whenever you get out there for race time, it's different. There's a
Yeah.
lot of the cars out there.
Yeah.
It's completely different.
That's what we did with him when we brought the Bando out last year, that one race. We cleaned it up nice, had it ready. We got here and we went out and practiced, and we thought we were pretty good, Had radios, so I was able to tell him, I guess you can run radios in those.
Yeah, in those.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we did. And just kind of showing him where to slow, where to enter the corners and stuff. And he done good. Then we get down for the race, and I see the other guys, and I'm like, holy smokes, like they treat this like late model racing. Like this is serious stuff.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, all right, bud, well, can't do this. Like I can't, I just can't afford that kind of stuff. Like we were talking earlier, the different motors
Yes.
and stuff. It's just like racing any other thing. And so that's when Rusty was like, look, we're going go-kart racing with Cooper. I'm like, okay. Well, Cooper said he needed a teammate.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, well, we'll get one for Brantley. We'll go go-kart racing.
Hey, that works
Yeah.
out.
So,
And-
Yeah. And then he breaks his wrist literally
The day before.
the
Yeah.
day before we're supposed to come race.
Well, like we were talking earlier, I remember you being in that cast and being out there, and I even said something to Tim that night. I was like, "Man, that's wanting it bad right there."
Yeah.
Right.
And we were talking about earlier Cam
Mallett.
Cam Mallett he had a cast up all the way to the elbow the other night,
Yeah.
and he wasn't racing his legend car because of it.
Okay, yeah. Well, it takes a lot more in a legend car.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
willing that thing.
Well, you're left and right in the legend car
Exactly.
because it is
Yeah.
Yeah.
sideways.
When I race, I actually use my left hand, I would say more. I drive with my left hand a lot. I'm
Right.
right-handed, but I do use my left hand a lot. And I try to tell him that. I'm like, it ain't even you. I'm not worried about him because he's smooth. I'm not worried about him hurting himself, but I'm worried about somebody else. What if somebody loses control and rams into the side of him or something, and it just jars the wrist?
Right.
So we done it the one time. We asked for forgiveness for mom, said a permission.
Yeah.
And, she wants us to wait, and that's what we're going to do.
yeah,
There you go.
understandable.
There's
no rush.
plenty of racing left.
Oh,
Plenty
yeah.
of racing left.
Hopefully I can get it off this Friday. and then
Yeah.
probably won't race this Saturday because that's when you got to be the carefulest.
Right when you get it off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're gonna
Mhm.
put me in a brace, of course, but still, you got to be careful. Probably the next.
It's
week.
more safe now with a cast on it than it will be in a brace.
Yeah.
So
The next couple weeks will be critical on that.
that's right.
Yeah, you got to be careful
So we're
with
gonna
it.
take it easy. We'll be here before this. There's tons of racing here left. I looked at
yeah.
the schedule, and we got plenty of races left.
Plenty of racing.
Well,
left.
and the great thing is, the tracks work so well together between here and MIS to
Yeah.
where they don't race on top of each
That's
other.
right.
Yeah,
you
that's
know,
right.
and-
and they try their best not to.
Yeah, because I think Eddie in Mobile understands that this place is a stepping stone. Half the people that race at Mobile, their kids race down here.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is
And
where
so-
they get their start at.
Yep.
Yeah.
100% agree.
We're very
with that.
proud to be that, and
Yeah.
so it's a great little facility for that, nurturing them from 4 on up.
Man, I
Yeah.
love this place.
Yeah.
And then we brought them legacy cars down here. I was so happy to be back out there. And we were slower,
Yeah,
than Jeremy and Justin.
still got the win.
We were just riding in third. I was like, we had some carburetor issues and some fuel pickup issues, and I was just like, look, we're gonna at least finish third and have
Yeah.
fun, I was out there running the crap out of it.
Well, and that was after blowing a motor in the primary car and,
Yeah.
and qualifying. And so-
Yeah, we had Dad's car ready. It was going to be fast
Mm-hmm.
and go out and qualifying. And I mean, I was wide open in there in turn 3 to come to the green flag,
Yeah.
and it's just oil. Lost
well,
all
and
control.
we didn't even realize. I don't even think you realized
didn't.
it because
I didn't.
I told Tim and all them in the booth. I was like, "That's great because you went back out and you maximized the track. You
Right.
went back almost to
Oh,
turn
yeah.
1 and 2
Oh, yeah.
to get your run,
And
to
then
come-
did it again.
and then did it again. And I was like,
oh, something's wrong.
yeah,
Yeah. So then
Yeah.
I felt like I must be pouring oil. So that's when I just pulled to the bottom. I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't want to oil the track down.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're not racing this thing. Leave it down here.
Yeah,
Right.
it definitely did not look like a blown motor. I was
No.
like, I think the brakes
Well,
locked
and
up.
it would
Is
just-
what- yeah,
It ended up being an oil leak, is all it was, but it was bad.
right.
Yeah.
It was.
Well,
obviously, it was
you'd
bad.
go down into 3 and it would do one little puff, like
Yeah.
the brakes was locking up a
Yeah.
tire or something like
Yeah.
that. And so that's what we thought it was. And
Yeah.
then whenever you pulled down there and told whoever it was that you're going to bring out the backup car, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And then we wound up having oil on the track,
Yeah.
and we had to do a cleanup, and so
Yeah.
that gave you enough time to get
I
the
just ran
backup
there,
car
got,
out.
yeah. So I had to call TJ. That's TJ Herrera's car,
Mm-hmm.
my cousin's. It's their car, and the car just so happened to still be in Brandon's trailer because Brandon put 2 of them legacy cars in his trailer,
Right.
and it just was in the front of the trailer sitting there. We weren't planning on racing it or anything like that, and when that happened, I called him. I was like, "Look, I know it ain't even been unloaded since Mobile. Care if I race it just for the car count? That's
Yeah.
all I wanted to do," and so that's what we did, And then Dad came over the radio. I think it was 3 to go or something. I was like, "Listen, they're gonna crash each other." And
They were
hard.
They
It
were
was
racing hard.
awesome. I mean,
Yeah.
I had front row to it.
Well, and you could
Solid.
tell it was nothing on purpose. It
No.
was just 2
No.
people fighting for real
Oh,
estate,
absolutely.
hard racing.
Neither
Yeah.
one of
And
them want
so-
to tear their race cars up.
Exactly.
Right.
It cost too much to fix. They were just battling it out, and they just had a certain way that it just. I don't know what happened. It
Was-
just made them lose control.
Especially down there in 3 and 4, you have so much wheel in the car.
Yeah.
That as soon as you get up against somebody, it
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
it's coming around most
Yeah.
times.
And I knew they were better than me, so when we took the restart, I was like, I got to keep it on the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Luckily, they got to battling.
They did.
And-
Yeah. So Jeremy ran off in the corner right behind me. He pushed me down the straightaway because the car I was in just wouldn't go.
Right.
So he pushed me down the straightaway, and then he told me, he said when he went to get in the brakes, going off in 1, he hit the clutch.
Yeah, he did
That's
say.
why-
I do remember that. Yeah.
So
yeah.
he just shot straight at the track. And when he did that, I was able to pull away a little bit. Justin got the second, obviously, in that one lap. He ran me down immediately.
Yeah.
And I was able to hold him off coming to the checker right there. That was,
Yeah.
it was, we got lucky. That's what we
He didn't
got.
even know it was the last lap.
No, I didn't even know. I had no idea. I
Yeah.
had no idea.
I mean, you're so focused out the windshield, wasn't looking for the
Yeah.
flag.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
yeah. It was a great time.
I will say the drone was here that night,
That
and they
was
got a
awesome.
sick video of you
Yeah.
going down the front stretch with the
Yeah.
checkered flag after the race.
Oh yeah.
That was one of my favorite videos, man. I like that. That was awesome.
Yeah, it's one of the cool things that Abe and Andrews brought in to SSR to kind of just build the track.
Yeah.
And one thing that helps is you guys coming out. The Legacy cars put on a well of a show.
Oh yeah.
Both
Oh,
times
yeah.
they've been out now.
Wish we had more cars.
Yeah.
But
And
they did put on a show.
Yeah.
It was fun watching.
I hate that we haven't had more cars here because I really feel like this track's a lot more suited for those
Perfect
cars.
for those cars.
Then
Yeah.
Mobile's
Especially all the
great.
Houston guys.
Yeah,
Right.
Mobile's amazing track. Don't get me wrong, but it's so big for those cars. It's like running
Yeah,
a
it's
super
too big.
speedway.
It is.
And then you bring them out here, and y'all can actually race.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
more about handling and setup and getting through the corners and everything.
Yeah,
And
I feel like the Houston guys will be good if they come.
Yeah.
They just come. They'll,
Yeah.
they'll be really good.
yeah,
The Mobile and the Legacies has been crazy.
Yes.
Yeah, we were talking about the couple weekends ago, that big one that the two cars flew off turn
Well,
4.
give me that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the initial
they
race
shot
I
off
think out
4.
there was whenever
Oh yeah, and then your dad
Jimmy
at the
Day.
beginning of the season flew off
I
turn
thought he
2.
was-
yeah
I
I thought he
forgot
was dead.
That was
That was-
Scared me.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was wild.
Yeah.
To watch it, because I thought, and I had it backwards. I thought the 19 car got loose and got him, but
Yeah.
he got loose, and
Yeah,
somebody, I want to say it was the O2, sent me the video. From
Brandon
his-
Wilson.
Yeah, from his
Oh, the in-car?
onboard,
Yeah.
and it just snapped.
Yeah.
If you watch it, it sparks.
Mm-hmm.
And then as soon as it sparks, it jumps sideways. And then he went to correct it, thinking it just got a little loose.
Right.
When it did, it caught and then just shot him
Yeah.
off. Some in the right rear broke.
No, I told Logan, being in the flag stand,
Yeah.
I was like, that's one of the hardest hits I've seen in a long
was
time.
rough.
Not
Yeah.
just Legacy, just
The cars are. And then, Dad he's at a broke back already.
Mm-hmm.
He gets right out
yeah.
and walks back. And it's
Yeah.
like, and then these guys fly off turn 4 the other night
Yeah, that was wild.
and they get right out of their cars.
Tim was like, they are in the oak tree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so,
Yeah. No, it was wild to watch from the flag stand,
Yeah.
them fly off the corner, because those cars are so fast.
Yeah,
They
they
were
are
Mobile.
extremely
Jeremy
fast.
got loose that same night. Whenever the two cars went off
Mhm.
in the tree, the same night Jeremy passed out because he got wrecked. Brandon tipped him.
I remember
in the
that.
front.
Yeah, because when they got to the car, that it was unconscious
Yeah.
for a second.
Yeah, Jeremy spun, and then when Brandon came by, I think his rear, I don't remember his left or right rear, but clipped Jeremy, and I don't know how, but it knocked him out.
it may have just jostled him just right.
I guess.
You know?
Yeah.
But it's crazy to me how safe those cars actually are. I mean,
Yeah.
you wouldn't
Well,
being
and
that small, but
honestly,
take a hit.
So we got to see the roll cage of those two, because the
Yeah.
bodies were completely gone
Yeah.
off of them.
Oh, yeah.
They're very well built. I mean,
Yeah.
they're
They're just
braced
little
up.
late models.
Yeah.
They're little late
Mini
models.
late models.
Mini
Yeah.
late models is what they are.
Yeah.
And that's how they are with setting them up too. I mean, the little things on them cars.
So they have quick changes in them, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's what I thought.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, Brantley, going back to you real quick, baseball, right? What grade are you in, first of all?
5th. I'm going in 6th.
6th grade.
Mhm.
Are you going to be trying to play some school ball too, on top
Yes.
of travel ball?
Yeah, I'm going to be playing school ball in 7th grade because they don't allow 6th grade or something.
Mhm.
And then after that, probably be playing travel ball. And we'll see if racing goes that far, though. But yeah, we're going to have to go into school ball in 7th grade and then go straight to travel ball right after school ball.
So, what positions you play?
I play first, pitcher, a little bit of catcher. Just
What's your favorite position?
definitely first.
First
I've
base.
been playing first base my whole life, and then I just like it. And
Gotcha.
then,
It's a key part.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
very
To play.
important position. I played catcher one time in park ball, and I told my coach I'll never do it again. I hated it.
I did the same thing.
Yeah, I hated catcher.
I wanted to do it so bad. I suited up, got behind home plate, and while we were warming up, I changed my mind.
Yeah, nope.
I was like, this ain't for me.
This ain't for me. No.
I played catcher for a whole season
Did you?
in T-ball. And
T-ball.
Not T-ball, coach pitch.
Coach
my bad,
pitch.
coach pitch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
it gets wild when they're up there pitching to you, throwing
Yeah.
65 mile an hour.
No, I was gonna say, I
It's-
did it in Babe Ruth, which
I
is
played-
right at high school level.
Yeah.
And that's,
Mhm.
I played one game in the minors because our catcher didn't show up.
Mhm.
And the worst part about it was I was not equipped for that.
Right.
And so, I didn't bring jockstrap cup or any of
Yeah.
that stuff.
Yeah.
So they handed me a cup and they were like, just shove it down your pants.
That's
And I was like, I don't think that's how this is supposed to work. And so it was, and our pitcher was wild because they wouldn't let him pitch in practice. The coaches pitched to us in practice.
Yeah.
Right.
And so, man, it was a terrible night.
Yeah. I played most of my ball in right field. That's they stuck the fat kid in right field and said, chase the ball, boy.
Listen, I'll go and be honest with you. There is that. It used to be like that at the park
Mhm.
when you did park ball stuff like that. But your right fielder is just as important as
Yep.
your daggone pitcher
Yep.
nowadays.
Mhm.
I mean, you gotta have a right fielder because a lot of these pitchers are throwing really hard, and the kids will be late
Mhm.
swinging the bat. And a lot of your balls go to right
Go to
field.
right field,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean you can't have weaknesses right now. Not in the type of baseball that
any
we play.
position, to be
Yeah,
honest.
I was just say athletics in general, just from me growing up to now, it's a whole different world.
It's way
Yeah.
different. We had a travel ball team when I played baseball, but it would be the best kid from each park.
Right.
The best kid from Theodore, the best kid from West Side, the best kid from Grand Bay. they would take the best and put on one team,
Right.
and then you would travel out of town to play.
Right.
That was travel ball.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, there's some travel ball teams out there now that your regular park ball team could compete against.
Right.
I mean, there's just the way it is now.
Right.
So
obviously, Mom likes baseball more than racing right now, right? Is that what we're seeing?
yeah, well, me and his mom Shelby's been together since since I started racing in 04. Me and her got together in 08.
Gotcha.
So she's been around racing since, almost my whole racing career.
Right.
So she is on board with racing.
Right.
And she's excited about it. Just wants we got to heal first.
Right. Of course.
Yeah,
We gotta. His future in sports is he's just really good at it.
Right.
He's really way better than I was. Way better than I was. And I like to think I was all right.
Right.
But I had to choose. I got to a point where I was going to go play high school baseball or high school sports,
Mhm.
or we were going to go racing.
Yeah.
Right.
Because it's just it's every day at the shop. If
Yeah.
you want to go racing, this is the way it is.
I didn't play baseball or anything cool like that. I played soccer 9th grade year,
Yeah.
and then I didn't make that team for 10th grade, so I played tennis.
Yeah.
And then Bobby built me a car for 08,
Yeah.
and that was going to be the first year I ran.
Yeah.
11th grade year is high school, and I quit going to tennis practice. And
Yeah.
the coach came over there one day. He was like, "Well, you need to pick what you're
Yeah.
going to do if you're going to play tennis or if you're going to race." And I was like, "I'm gonna race. It's a lot cooler to race."
Right.
I was like,
Yeah.
"You really thought you were gonna get me to play tennis?"
Right.
He was
I mean, when my dad gave me that choice, it wasn't even. I didn't even think about it.
No.
It's like, no, we're racing. Man.
Yeah.
Like, what are we ain't worried about no baseball.
Exactly. We went back in 06, after Bobby didn't want to race when Bill had the track.
Yeah.
Bill had made him mad in 01. He
Oh,
quit.
hasn't he?
And he was like, "I'm not coming back till Bill's not there." And
Yeah.
in the winter of 05, he was like, "Or Bill doesn't have the track anymore. I've got
Yeah.
a lead on a car. We're going to buy it."
That's
and
right.
so we went and bought it was Brad Davidson's old bomber car. And the first night we ran it in 06, it still had the 305 in it because
Yeah.
it didn't have the
Oh yeah, I was
time
ready to
get
go
it.
at one time.
Well, and he just didn't have that was the same motor it was sitting in the weeds, complete car. We drove it up on the trailer,
Right.
and it was the same motor been sitting there for 5 years in the weeds.
Yeah.
And he ran it that first night. He built him a 350, and Joey Fountain. I don't know if you remember
I
Joey
know.
Fountain.
Yep.
We side by side with Joey Fountain come to the checkered and slid across the line for 3rd and 4th, and they gave it to Joey. And we finished 3rd, but they gave it to Joey.
Yeah.
And
That darn transponder.
I don't even think
No,
we had a
they didn't have
transponder.
one, they didn't.
Yeah. So what it was they were both white cars with black bumper covers,
Yeah.
and so they were like, we couldn't tell who was who.
Yeah.
They even admitted that to us, and they were like, he was ahead of you the lap before, so we gave it to him.
Yeah.
Dang.
Racing was different back then.
Yeah.
It was different.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
That was back when sportsman cars you didn't even run spoilers on them.
Right.
They were
Yeah.
they looked like you just drove them out of the parking lot.
Yeah. Some would say the good old days.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, JJ, do you want to take a second and thank your sponsors that help you out each week and your teams you race for?
Man, so Tommy, I call them my sponsors, but it's really, they're going to be with Tommy even if I'm not there.
Right.
So, he's got Gulf Services, has been with him, I don't even know how long, but they're a huge part of making that whole program work. We got McCarran Services with Rusty, he helps out a good bit, and then there's just a lot of people that help them that don't even ask for anything.
Right.
They just because they're just friends with Tommy.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how we do it. That's how we do it.
Yeah.
It's like just a big family over there, man.
Yeah.
It really is. Yeah.
Well, before you go, speaking of big family, obviously you have a big racing family. Between your dad and your sister and Jeremy and
Oh yeah.
Well, even the non-family members. Brandon's been with you so long; he's technically a brother. I feel.
Yeah,
like.
we've always
So-
said we're brothers. Yeah, we when I started racing in 04, I think Brandon started racing with us in 05, and we've raced together since then.
Mhm.
Him and Dad's won championships together, and now he got that Crown Vic last year, and then now he's into a legacy car. I think so. Brandon has 2 legacies
Mhm.
at our shop right now. Dad's shop, they've got Brandon has 2 legacies, TJ's legacy, Jeremy's legacy, all in the shop, and then now they got Crown Vic.
Yeah.
They just got yesterday. So
And 2 good words.
Then they got our go-karts, the
Yeah.
2 go-karts that are in there as well. So, yeah.
The shop is full.
It's full. There's a lot. They're there now.
Yeah.
They're there now. Yeah, we do a lot. We do a lot of racing, man. At one point, it got to where I was would be at the track with the Presslers, and just by myself with them. We didn't do a lot of racing as
Right.
as the family anymore. And when I got in that wreck and I was sitting in that hospital bed, I was sitting there by myself.
Mhm.
I was at the hospital by myself, hurting. And when Brantley got there, he was a little younger. And whenever he got there, he saw me in that hospital bed and told me, he was like, "Yeah, I don't think we need to race anymore, Dad." I'm like, "That's all I need to hear, buddy,
Yeah.
because I'm hurting
Yeah.
and I'm tired."
Yeah.
But that's back when we went to the race shop every single day.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what we did. So I retired
Mhm.
and stopped racing. And I sat out a year. And during that year that I was sitting out, Shay and Jeremy become a couple.
Mhm.
And he was new to racing
Right.
and was in love with it,
Mhm.
like I used to be.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
So he gets Dad back involved, and now Dad's loving racing again. Now Dad's got his shop full of race cars again. So I'm like, well, listen, I retired because y'all didn't race. No,
Yeah.
y'all didn't want to go to the racetrack.
Right.
Yeah, literally. So now they got back into racing. So I called Mr. Tommy. I'm like, look, I know I retired on you out of nowhere.
Mhm.
I said, but heck, my family's back into racing. Everybody's going to be there. I'm going to go. Brantley wants me to race.
Yeah.
You want to do it? And he was like, let me make a phone call. Had Ryan Paul driving for him.
Mhm.
And Ryan got super busy with work and told Mr. Tommy, yeah, whatever you want to do. Mr. Tommy gave me the call. I was like, let's go back racing.
Yeah. Man.
So we're slowly getting back in it. Being out that year, we fell behind a little bit.
Yeah. It's amazing how quickly it can pass you by.
Well, and I have a brand new Seneca chassis.
Mhm.
I mean, there's no excuses. We're just behind on a little bit of things, and myself as a driver, and a little bit. Kevin got injured.
Yeah.
So he's back now. I mean, hell, he's forgot more than I'll ever know.
Oh yeah.
You know,
You're
really.
talking about Ray Winkle, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
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 He's the smartest man I've ever met with racing.
Yep.
So, and he's my crew chief on that deal, and we'll be back. We'll be
Yeah.
back. We left off with the 2020 Snowball Derby, and won a championship after that. We won a lot of races together, and we'll be back.
Are you planning on running the 100 lapper later this year?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're coming. I don't know how we're gonna do. Our goal with that Outlaw right now is we just want to finish a race.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I haven't finished a race in the Outlaw in probably 10 races.
Yeah.
The last
That's
10
a bad
now.
look, yeah.
Yeah, but that's part of sitting out.
That and everything with the cars nowadays, you're built so much to the max that
Yeah.
you're more likely to break stuff.
Yeah.
Back in the day, things were built like tanks, and
Yeah,
they just
it's
went out there
different.
and beat the crap out of each other. Now
Yeah.
everything's built so fragile.
Yeah.
It's all built for speed now,
Yeah.
and so
Yeah, we got out of the pro. When I started racing, we was in pro late models.
Mhm.
We went down to the Outlaws, more affordable, so we
Right.
can compete more.
Right.
We're not racing against $100,000 late models.
mhm.
Well, guess what?
Now they're- Yeah.
We moved down to the Outlaws, and we were winning a lot of races.
Yeah.
And now here comes people with money,
Mhm.
and
Well,
we started
and
getting outrun
the
by money.
Outlaws started out as the division where the first year of it, when we had our Outlaw car, we had to run 5-inch springs. You did not run coilovers.
different.
You had
They
to
were
move
different.
the motor.
Yeah.
You actually had to fabricate those cars.
Yeah,
And
that
it
was like a super stock Outlaw.
Yeah.
Now they're late model Outlaws.
Yes.
It's literally, we had a late model Seneca
Mhm.
chassis, 2020 or 2021,
Mhm.
one or the other, but it's
Well, and
legit.
that chassis we were running was a late model chassis, but
Yeah.
you had to adapt it. Like we had to put steel calipers on it. You couldn't run
Yeah.
the aluminum calipers and
That's
stuff
right.
like that.
Oh
and
man, it's so different now.
yeah, and all that
So
stuff
different.
was done to keep the cost low.
Right.
And now, people complain they want to be able to run this. They don't want to have to weld a caliper bracket on. They want to just be able to bolt the caliper.
They
on.
want to buy it,
Yeah.
Exactly.
bolt it on.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Throw the checkbook at it.
Well, I
That's
mean-
where they had their advantage.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Was the Pressler Motorsports was they could build it themselves.
Right.
They could do it.
Yeah.
They were smart enough to build this stuff. And then same with motors. They were smart enough. They just build their own motors.
Mhm.
Now it's a crate motor.
Yeah.
So you
And
just
that was-
you just got to buy it.
That was the way we always raced too with Bobby. Bobby worked at Baker's Machine Shop.
Yeah, that's right.
He built his
Yeah.
own motors.
Yeah.
We built our
Yeah.
chassis right there in the shop and everything. We did everything ourselves,
That's
and then
right.
we got outmoneyed.
Yep.
And it just that takes away a lot of your drive for it too. Is whenever you're doing everything you
Yeah.
can as a racer, the same stuff you've done for years
Yeah.
that worked, and then you see somebody that doesn't know near as much as what you do, and they just go buy something that's faster than you,
Right.
and it breaks your heart.
It does. It really does. I don't want him to have to go through that.
Right.
That's why we haven't raced.
Yeah.
A lot.
Understandable,
That's why. In baseball, I can buy you the best bat there is. I'll go buy that bat.
Mhm.
Whatever. I'll send you to pitching lessons or whatever. Whatever we got to do to get him better. I can do that. But I can't go buy a $27,000 crate motor, run the Outlaw class, go win $800.
Exactly.
Can't do that.
Exactly. Well, and that's what back then we were running. It paid $600 to win an Outlaw race.
Yeah.
And it was $600 for a set of tires and fuel.
Yep.
And so you were essentially
Breaking
you were
even to
in.
win.
Well, no, because you're $30 per person to get in. So you were in the hole as soon as you pulled in the gate if you won.
Here's the crazy part about it is, the purse is still the same,
Mm-hmm.
but everything else costs more.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, people ask me how much does it cost to go race. I'm like, $1,000.
Mm-hmm.
Truck or Outlaw, it doesn't matter.
Right.
By the time you buy tires, fuel, pay to get in, it's $1,000.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what it costs.
Our crew wasn't near as big as his, so we didn't have to pay that much to get
I
everybody in.
won the Lee Fields Memorial race,
Yeah.
biggest race of the year at Mobile. Fastest in practice, fastest in qualifying, and won the race. $850.
Yeah.
I spent $1,100.
Right.
The most money we ever won was the last race of 2014 was the Mako 1000.
Yeah.
And it paid $1,000 to win. Dude, you'd have thought we won the Daytona 500 after that one. It was
Right.
like,
Still.
we made money tonight.
That's right. That's right. Yep.
Well,
I know.
guys, we want to thank y'all for coming on and
absolutely.
hanging out with us.
Thank
It's
y'all
been
for having us.
Yeah.
good to catch up with JJ, man. It's good to see him. No matter where you're at, it's always good to see you because you're just a humble person and love racing, and that's just kind of who we are. We just love racing and want to be around it.
Man, I could sit here and talk for hours.
I know.
I love it.
And we're definitely we want to have a time with you and your dad can come back and talk too.
That'd be
Some
awesome.
stories we'd love to hear there for sure.
Maybe
He's got
Brandon
tons
down.
of them. He's got tons of stories.
And then Brandon too.
Yeah.
We gotta get
Man,
scheduled out.
it goes back to my Uncle David.
Yeah.
And he drove here when it was there. He was 88. He actually started racing before my dad. He was 88. My dad was 98.
Mhm.
And they have battled it out around this racetrack.
Yeah.
We have old tapes that we go back and watch over Christmas and stuff of them battling it out when this place was dirt.
Really?
Well,
and
and
it's-
I just want to bring it up too. We had some feuds back in the day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah, me and JJ
You
got
have to.
into it.
And now you're
JJ
on a racetrack.
I know, it's crazy.
Come on.
It's
Come
crazy.
on.
Well, and
Can you get rid of this guy?
He was yelling at me at the last race in Mobile because I took a lap away.
Hey, that
from
one,
him, so.
it doesn't matter who it
I
was.
know.
Whoever the
Exactly.
racetrack was.
So, but
doesn't
it's
matter.
one of those things where we talk about family all the time and how it's a family
Yeah.
sport. And if you're in the racing community, your family, we might fight one night and then we'll
Yeah, who cares?
shake hands and it's
cares?
water under the bridge next night.
I'm not gonna lie to you. That night I was worried because I'd already talked to you about being on the podcast, and then he pissed you off at Mobile from the qualifying.
Dude, I was over that by the time I got back.
I told Logan, I was like,
Yeah.
"You're ruining our guest lineup for the podcast. You gotta quit."
I'm too old for that.
Oh man,
I'm
back in
way
the
too
day,
old
it
for
was all and
Yeah.
all kind of stuff, and so.
But me and Grant bumping coming to the checkered, this is to win the Lee Fields, obviously.
Right.
You know, I'm going to do everything I can. I'm not going to wreck them.
Yeah.
But even bumping them, I'm coming to Victory Lane. I'm like, I hope he's not mad. 'Cause,
Yeah.
like, I really don't have time for this, And he comes over to win. He's like, good race, man. And I'm like, thank God. Because that was fun. We
Right.
didn't tear nothing up. He was already tore up.
The only time
But,
that we were mad at each other was like you absolutely destroyed your truck one night whenever you and Bobby got together.
Yeah, that was
on the
my
stretch,
first concussion.
Hit the inside wall and like it.
I hit the guardrail.
Obviously, he was mad,
Right.
So it.
I was also 16, 17
Exactly,
years old. I was
and then there was a night where me and JJ got together, first lap going into 1 and 2 in the bomber cars. I sent him to the billboards,
Yeah.
and after the race, he came over there. He was like, "Hey man, I apologize." He went out and won.
I remember that.
Yeah,
I
he was
remember.
like,
We still won that.
He's
Yeah,
like,
we
I
won.
drove down the side of you, and I was like,
Yeah.
and you tried to push me off the back straightaway,
Yeah.
so I just had to turn left, and
Man.
he shook my hand on his way to Scales.
Yeah,
so
I remember that.
Yeah,
I do remember. There's a lot of stuff that I don't remember. I do remember that.
Yeah, I mean, it was always good, hard race. I burnt 2 plug wires off that night, so I was not a factor. I normally wasn't a factor, but that particular
Yeah, I remember you
night,
flipping. I remember that night.
Oh God, I'm trying to forget that one.
I'll tell you, I can sit here and talk for hours.
Crash and burn.
I really-
Crash and burn. I did. Keisha Bean gave me the name Crash and Burn years ago, and it is dead on. So,
Yeah.
He does it on the game too. It's
It's a
crazy.
good time, man.
Yeah.
Good time.
Well, anyway, thank you guys for being on. We'll definitely have you back, and we're going to take a second and shout out our sponsors.
We at From the Tower want to take a second and thank all of our amazing sponsors, the 2 of them we have right now. The first one, OEC Workplace Solutions. They donated us a very beautiful table to do our work on, so thank you to them. Go see them for all the other office supply needs, office furniture needs. They have multiple lines of furniture and different things you need for the office setting. Make sure you reach out to them and
check them out. Also, All Star Graphics, Matt Hillhouse, a racer here at SSR, does a great job with the cars. On track vinyl work, stickers, shirts, t-shirts, signs, yard signs, has everything you need to make sure all your signage needs are taken care of. Thank you to our sponsors. Well, Logan, we were sitting here talking about our beautiful sprint cars we got on the table. We both decided to bring sprint cars this week. This one I just got recently, the number 9 of Casey Kane. You know, I collect Casey Kane. He was my driver kind of after Dale Jr. I kind of got off the Dale Jr. bandwagon because everybody else was on it.
Yeah, so, I mean, that bandwagon was packed.
Yeah, that was a band, I don't know what to call it, band nation.
Yeah, and I'll be honest with you, that was one of the most frustrating things about being in Talladega all those years. He could take the lead on lap 2. The grandstands were, it's like, brother, there is 186 laps left.
Yeah.
Calm down, people. If there was 2 to go, justifiable.
Right.
But it was kind of like when Hocevar took the lead at Michigan. Dude, the grandstands went crazy.
Yeah.
And that was the way it was every time. And it would happen 5 or 6 times a race.
Right.
And to be honest, I was a Dale Jr. hater back then. He wasn't, his level of racing did not match his fan base. And it was because, he got most of them because of his dad.
Right.
I will say that. But now, I love Dale Jr.
Yeah.
Like, as a commentator, I think he is one of the best ones.
Right.
We got a car in the wall. That is one of my favorite things. And so, his excitement and enthusiasm for it. And for some reason, he was just so monotone as a driver.
Yeah.
And all that excitement now is coming out as a commentator, and love it. But
yeah. I mean, that's kind of what happened with me. Is I was a Dale Senior fan, and then obviously he gets killed, and so I was like, you know what, jump to Junior.
Yeah, and a lot of people did, and it just, I didn't understand because Dale Senior understood the fan base. Not only was he a great driver, he was the everyman's driver.
Right.
He was the hardworking guy that worked his way up and everything, and Dale Junior just wasn't that guy. He was, his dad was a driver. He got an opportunity because his dad was like, well, I might as well put him in the car.
Right.
And, I didn't really understand that part of it.
Right.
And so, but then people loved him.
Yeah. He was a lovable guy.
Yeah.
It's not like he went out there and won a race and then called it good. I mean, he won some Busch Series championships, and then I think it was 26 career wins in NASCAR.
Something like that, Well, and he was really good at super speedways.
Yeah.
He got good at the super speedway racing. And I mean, that's not a bad thing to be good at.
Right.
I think the cars changing up a lot hurt him.
Right.
I think there's been posts made about like he was like, I hated the COTs.
Yeah.
And Kyle Busch was the same way with the next gen.
Right.
That the car changes so much from what you're used to that you struggle to figure out how to drive it.
Right. And technology and everything kind of.
Honestly, when they went away from the COT, when they went to the Gen 6 car, Dale Jr. kind of came back a little bit.
No, he got a few more wins in it. Yeah.
But during the COT years, man, he struggled.
Yeah, he definitely. A lot of drivers complain about the COT just because of the way they handled and stuff.
Exactly. But back to our sprint cars. NASCAR
update for the week.
I know, yeah. And so, well, just, our opinions.
Right.
Your sprint car made me think about my sprint car.
Right.
Whenever you sent us the pictures of the stuff you got the other day, beautiful cars, all 3 of them, by the way. You all will see them at some point.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm not going to give away what he got, but one of them was this beautiful sprint car he got. But that's the reason we were on the game chat last night, and I was like, hey man, you want to do sprint cars tomorrow? Because I knew I had one.
Right.
And it was like, okay, let's do this. Just like the other cars I was talking about, you got to dig yours out of your closet, obviously. I want to do those at some point.
Yeah, you can definitely do that.
It's matchy.
Yeah, I don't have that one out because it's
bigger.
It's bigger and it's special.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
I don't want that one getting damaged.
For sure.
So I don't display that one.
Understandable, for sure. Mine that matches that one was bought in a lot. And so, but it was so cool, I was like, I gotta keep this one.
Yeah, for sure.
And so, but I have another one that's similar that was very special to me that I had displayed for years, and they sit right by each other.
Gotcha.
And then I was not a fan, but I do have 2 Danica Patrick Elite cars because I got them so cheap.
Right.
They are still in the cardboard boxes that they came in with the packaging and everything around them.
They were shipped in.
Yeah, and I have written on the end of them. One of them is a standard Elite. One of them is her pink Elite.
Oh, okay.
It's the pink and green one.
That'd be a cool one
Yeah.
to put on the table.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to bring it at some point. But
For sure.
no, we were talking about it, and you got this beautiful sprint car. I had my sprint car, and it was like, we just need to have matching sprint cars. And so
Bring sprint cars.
I posed them up looking like they're doing sliders through the turn. So
Well, I've got the just a little info on mine. I got the 2007 Casey Kane World of Outlaw sprint car.
Mhm.
He's got curb records. It's got Bass Pro Shops. It's got Dodge. It's got great clips. You know, everybody that was sponsoring him back then in the Busch Series and then the Cup Series as well. It's just it's my first sprint diecast, and it's just a very beautiful car, man. The detail on it's a lot crazier too
yeah,
than a standard just diecast.
yeah. The fact that the wings come off, the hood comes off, like all that stuff, you can look at all the details of it.
Right.
I will say, from where I'm sitting, you can see the KK Racing emblem.
Right.
Really cool emblem. I've always liked that,
Yeah.
the way he did it. Actually went to KK Racing whenever in 08 when we went to Charlotte.
Okay.
The only reason we went there, that was the year he got voted into the All-Star race, and then he won, the 600
Yeah.
also.
Yeah.
Because he got voted into the All-Star race, they were doing t-shirt giveaways. Like, if you were a fan, you could go by KK Racing and get a free appreciation t-shirt. It was just a white t-shirt, said thank you to the fans or something, had him on it. And a friend of ours, Christy Hammond, Jimmy Hammond, it's Christy Rawls now, but Jimmy Hammond's daughter was a huge Casey Kane fan. So I texted her and I was like, hey, what's your t-shirt size? I'm going to go get you a t-shirt. And so I went by there and I got it in her size and I gave it to her.
Gotcha.
And so
I'm sure she appreciated it.
Oh, yeah.
Casey was more of a ladies driver, but I mean, he had a lot of male followers too.
Oh,
he
yeah.
was just a good driver all around.
He was the, to quote the female, the cute guy.
Right.
And so just baby faced, didn't look like your typical race car driver.
Right.
And ton of female followers because of that.
Yeah. And he just had a rough career, man. Health, concussions, and just injuries. He had a lot of bad hits in NASCAR.
Oh, yeah.
Daytona, Pocono. I mean, just to name a couple.
That Pocono wreck where he almost cleared the track was crazy.
Yeah.
And so, and then, watching the Dale Jr. download later on, he was dealing with heat exhaustion kind of stuff. And so, what's crazy to me is as much dirt racing as he did, he just got his first World Outlaws win this year.
Right.
That's wild.
Yeah, he was like, if I'm not mistaken, he was kind of like playing around in it.
Yeah.
Then he got the call to go to
I think
NASCAR.
he did more USAC.
Yeah, he did a lot of USAC.
So something that a lot of people didn't know about, you might because you were a Casey Kane fan, did you know he originally signed a contract with Ford? And he was in a major lawsuit for years to where he couldn't own anything because they would take it away from him.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I knew he was signed to Ford because he raced the '98 Channel Lock Busch Series car before he kind of got any other big break.
Yep. And then he went to Dodge with Evernham.
Yep.
And he broke his contract with Ford. And so literally he rented, like, I want to say it was that NASCAR 360 show. He was like, yeah, I rent my hangars. Because he didn't even want to buy hangars because he was scared that he would have something they could take away from him at that point.
Yeah, that was a good show. They need to bring that show back. I love that show.
Yeah, because Kevin Harvick, like, playing pranks on people and just all that stuff. Found out Tony Stewart had a monkey, and all kind of stuff. it gave you more behind the scenes. It's kind of like they did last year with the thing where they followed Hocevar and like Roger Carruth and all of them. Just seeing the drivers behind the scenes gives you a whole new perspective for it.
The little YouTube show they did. It was good.
Yep.
Well, Logan, your car.
Yes. This is actually the very first diecast I ever bought. I bought it at the Tony Stewart hauler in 2005. It is a Tony Stewart sprint car, Arctic Cat, Michael Ross Memorial Foundation, JD Byrider, Mopar car. He was running Mopars back then, even though he was a Chevy driver.
Right.
He was running Mopar cars. And yeah, it was the very first diecast I ever bought. I just thought it was so cool, a sprint car. For years, I actually thought it was a Danny Lasowski car.
Right.
Because Danny was driving his sprint cars back then. We used to watch Eldora every year, and just the races that they telecast on Speed Show.
Right.
And I became a Danny Lasowski fan because Tony drove for him.
Right.
And I just kind of followed him after that a little bit. But no, just beautiful car. The way the orange, the yellow, the black, it all flows together. I love the sprint cars. I just always have. I love when we run them at Mobile.
Yeah.
The amount of downforce they make
That's
and the
crazy.
power and everything.
Yeah.
The craziest thing to me is whenever they win and then they'll start doing wheelies in them. And it's like, you have that kind of power? Like,
that kind of power.
Well, the power to weight ratio is just ridiculous.
It's crazy. Yeah.
And so the only thing that I do not like about sprint cars is I wish they were a little bit safer. We have lost so many amazing drivers in sprint car wrecks because I don't know if it's the cages or what it is about them, but they're just one of the more unsafe cars.
Yeah.
You don't really see too many drivers passing away in wrecks anymore,
Right.
other than sprint car wrecks. And then even the drivers that don't pass away, like Shane Hamill, paralyzed neck down from a sprint car wreck.
Yep.
But his was a non-wing. But you know, when you're talking non-wing wing, that wing is sheet metal.
Yeah.
And I think most of it is aluminum.
Yeah.
And so it crushes very easily.
Yeah. Souped up Coke cans.
Dude.
Is basically what these
that's
things
all they are, dude. And with some sticks thrown in there, essentially with the tubing.
Right.
And so, but they're a motor and four wheels.
Yeah.
And they don't have starters. They don't, they have to be pushed off, which is crazy to me.
Right.
And we'll see that here in a couple weeks at Mobile. We have to coordinate that for practice and qualifying and all that. And it's crazy. But they're incredible cars to watch.
Yeah. Fun to watch at Mobile.
Yes.
So much more fun to watch on dirt.
Yeah. I will say, you were there earlier this year when the leader called the lap cars and he actually used the bumper to move a lap car. I've never seen a sprint car use the bumper before.
That's some guts.
Dude, I was like, they're not just for show. Like, it surprised me so much that he ran down in there, hit him, moved him up the track, and then went on. I was like,
yeah.
I didn't know you could do that in a sprint car.
Yeah. That was Aaron Willison.
Yeah.
And that was the guy that was so fast that first race in Mobile in the sprint car.
Wasn't he from Canada?
I think so.
Yeah.
I don't remember, because I've been in the flag stand. I don't get to see the sheets of where people's from or
I want
whatever.
to say that was Bill said he was from Canada.
Yeah.
And then he ran the race at Pensacola, and I think he finished second.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah, he finished second, which is crazy because he was unstoppable at Mobile.
Mm-hmm.
He literally called second place to lap him down.
Yeah.
He just slowed down.
Oh yeah.
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 So he's like, I'll keep second in front of me, and we'll win this race.
It's wild.
Yeah.
And just how much faster. And even in qualifying, whenever he went out, I think he was 3 seconds faster. And it was like, all right.
Yeah.
All he's got to do is not brake.
Yeah.
He can coast most of the time with how much faster he is.
Yeah, that's true. And I mean, and we talk about it sometimes too about the sprint cars is they have a tendency of braking. They're just
It is a race
fragile
of attrition.
race cars. Yeah.
And so, we'll start 10, 12. We'll finish with 6.
Yeah.
And 3 of them are on the lead lap.
Yeah.
And so it's like, dang.
Well, the first race, there were a lot of lap down cars, but I did brag to somebody. I was like, I think we started 12, like you said, but like 9 finished the race. We didn't lose very many in the first race.
The second race, the one that Mater won, that was the one I'm talking about where we had, I think we started with 10,
and we dropped
maybe 11.
Yeah, and we dropped down like 5 or 6.
We had 6 left running, only 3 of them were on the lead lap.
Yeah.
And I want to say the leader was on the same straightaway as the second and third.
Yeah.
And so it was just I don't know if it's not preparation, because if you're racing at that level, you're prepping just like everybody else is.
Right.
It's just wild to me the drop off and what can happen to those cars, and it's like you said, they're tin cans essentially. Everything on them is built for speed. It's built super lightweight, just like we were talking about with JJ with racing nowadays, where everything is so fragile. And it starts all the way at the cup level. The toe links and all that. Everything now is gun drilled and lightened and this and that, and it's just nothing's built to beat and bang anymore.
Yeah.
So that's, I think, why the race with him and Grant was so incredible, was because it was the Ricky Craven Kurt Busch race all over again to the line.
It wasn't egregious racing. It was, well, I need this inch, you can have this inch, but we're still have contact through the corners.
Talking to JJ and him saying his clutch went out. Well, no wonder Grant was able to pull him off the corners and was able to keep pace on the outside.
Right.
When your clutch is slipping, it's just, your motor's revving, but it's not going anywhere, because you have to have that clutch to grip to transfer the power through the transmission back through the drivetrain.
Right.
And so, we've had clutches slip before. It's a common thing in racing. You have to shim the transmissions. You have to space stuff out.
Right.
You have to find that sweet spot.
Right.
It must have been slipping a little bit, and then as the race went on, it just got worse and worse and worse. And to finish like that is incredible.
Yeah.
Just great for him, honestly.
Yeah. If you weren't there that night, Sleefields Memorial, we get it, but the racing like that is often not only in Mobile, at SSR. Like, we've just seen some amazing racing this year, period.
Yeah. Shout out to the entire crew at SSR real quick too. For last weekend, timing scoring was down when we got here.
Yeah.
And
struck by lightning.
Yeah. I made a post on Facebook and tagged Abe and Andrew in it because, they jumped in. Even Wayne. Wayne being former owner, he's here this year in the advisory role.
Right.
He jumped in, trying everything he could. They were on the phone with multiple people. In my position, I just kind of sat back. I know you were helping Ashley as much as you could.
Yeah, she was stressed.
And
she was stressed.
And rightfully so.
Yeah.
That's her entire job was she couldn't get it up.
Right.
And so it was one of those deals where it's like, okay, I don't know technicality stuff very well. So you were like, well, I have this cable, and you were in and out of here. You went and got a transponder. You did everything you could. And as did Abe and Andrew and Wayne. They were on the phone with anybody and everybody they could be. They tried everything.
Right.
And so then it was like, I come in and I'm like, they're like, what are we going to do? I'm like, we're going to old school it.
Yep.
We're going to hand score. We're going to keep eyes on cars. We're going to do this, and we're going to do the best we can. I screwed up that Bando race so bad. Like, I will call myself out. I had, I was like, we're racing back. And Davey turned around and looked, and he was like, we didn't take the white. And I was like, oh, I thought we did.
Yeah.
Okay, that's my fault.
You got to reset it, yeah.
Bro, I had to call Zoe back out. She went to the pits thinking the race was over because I screwed that one up bad.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, man, is this the way the night's going to go? And then luckily, we found our rhythm. And having to count laps and all that, luckily we had two different people in the tower counting laps for us.
Yep.
I was counting on my fingers,
right?
And just having that backup and all that. And then Ashley had her phone propped up at the start-finish line.
Right.
We had to review that footage a couple times to set lineups in the Legends race because that's how competitive it was.
Yeah. That's what I was fixing to say is, like, we can tell you all day we're hand scoring and keeping up with it, but you have to trust us when we're in the tower doing that. And when we say we had Ashley, my wife's cell phone, we had Kaylee's cell phone. She was propped up on the other side watching 3 and 4. Ashley was at start finish line in the middle of the backstretch. So we had literally that whole spot of the track covered. And Andrew had his phone recording turn 1 and 2 from the spotter stand for a chunk of the night.
Yeah, and Abe was in the center of the infield. Doing, he helped with some calls. It was, we say race directing by committee every now and then. It was literally race directing by committee that night for scoring.
Yeah, no, for sure.
And I appreciate everybody, helping out where they could. I appreciate the racers for being patient with us. It wasn't ideal going back to pill draws and not qualifying and doing all that. But to take the final checker flag after a very eventful, very hectic night at 10:03.
Right.
Great, incredible job by the entire crew here.
Yeah, from our side it was hectic, right? With everything going on, but it looked so smooth on the outside.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It looked so smooth because it just flowed.
Well, and that's why, I made that post. I was sitting there Sunday, me and Jaden were kind of chilling, and I was like, you know what, I've got to give a shout out to the entire crew because the entire crew really stepped up. Everybody was on point. We had everything went well. And you never want to say that in the middle of the night. You want to wait till the end of the night.
Right.
But it was one of those things where at the end of the night, it was like, man, this went way smoother than I anticipated. Just because of how it started. And not only that, we had rain.
Right.
We had rain before we ever got practice out there. And again, Abe and Andrew were on it. The Abe called Andrew. He got cars on track circulating.
Right.
The track never got damp.
Nope.
By the time it was time for practice, the track was ready.
Yep.
Thankfully the sun came out. It's not like it is today where it's just dreary and overcast. Luckily the sun came out. It was really like a drizzle. It wasn't a full-on rain. I thought that we were going to have bad rain. because it was all around us.
It looked rough.
Yeah,
On the way to the track, it looked rough.
Oh, and Davey drove through that monsoon that he drove through, and I thought it was coming this way.
Yeah.
And so we met a friend of ours, me and Jaden met her at DJ's Diner and was having lunch, and the sky was turning black, and I was like, oh, that's not good. And so thankfully, everything kind of went right.
Yeah.
Other than the scoring being down, everything kind of panned out.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I'll say, we named the last episode from last week "Rainouts Are Stupid," and we got the big legend race this weekend. And the stupid weather, man, it won't go away.
Yeah, this week is not looking good. I talked to Abe. They're monitoring everything because we again have people coming in. We posted our challenge last week.
Right.
Got a little bit of traction on that.
Yeah.
I still don't think they can come down and beat our normal guys.
I don't either.
Chase Hart won this past weekend. I'm not going to say he got lucky, but I really think Bryce Castile had his number.
Yeah,
if there wouldn't have been a couple late race restarts there, I think Bryce would have pulled it out.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, Carter had a flat tire.
Yeah.
Carter was right there in the mix too.
Yeah.
Mason Massey finished third.
Yep.
Incredible run for him.
Won his heat race.
Yeah.
Won a heat race.
Won a heat race in the fast heat.
Yeah.
I would call it. Because you had most of your heavy hitters, your feature winners of the year, essentially. Were right behind him. Just drove such a good line. They could not get the power down coming off.
Right.
And just, massive improvements out of him this year for being first year in the legend.
Yeah.
And so, we talked about the Bando boys, as we call them.
Yeah.
And they travel, they race their legends everywhere. Mason's still in the Bandos and dominant this year.
Right.
But really coming into his own as a legend driver as well.
For sure. And speaking of Bando boys, Cameron Mallett. We were in practice and we were like, man, I haven't seen Cameron yet. And then the heat race started and you see him walk down and he has full cast on his arm. So hope you get better soon, Cameron. We want you back on track as soon as possible and mixing it up with the rest of the legends and the Bando boys.
Yeah. It's terrible not having him out there.
Yeah.
And we were talking to Brantley. Brantley, same deal. He was racing with a cast.
Right.
He was racing go-karts. And like we were saying, the legends, they're driving them. They're almost like dirt cars with the power to weight ratio and how sideways they are off the corner. You're having to turn right and left and right and left. And so really can't do that with a cast all the way up to your elbow.
I'd say scooter accidents, what I heard.
Yeah, same with Brantley.
Yeah.
And so
stay off the scooters, boys.
I know. The scooters are terrorizing our race car drivers, man. But hopefully he gets better soon. Hopefully he's back out here. I know they ran 1, 2, 3 at
Echo Park.
Yeah.
What was it, Thursday Thunder?
Yeah.
Like that.
And so, to come off something like that, really building momentum. And I want to say he ran top 3 the last time he raced out here.
Yep.
Really building momentum.
Right.
And then
scooter accident.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, hope you get better, Cameron.
Yeah, for sure.
Got the big race this weekend. 1,000 to win for Legends. That's to look forward to if the weather don't get in the way.
Yeah.
And then next weekend we're back in Mobile.
Yeah. Yeah. It seems like it's been forever since we've been in Mobile.
It has been a while.
And
I feel like it, yeah.
But yeah, looking forward to it. We run here 2 weeks in a row, which is unusual.
Very unusual.
But should be a good race weekend. We're running features only.
Right.
We're not running certain divisions this week. And so, actually, I think
he added them back.
I was gonna say,
I think he added them back. We got the carts, and then we got double features for.
We're not running heat races because I was just thinking about it because we were actually working on the schedule tonight.
Right.
Whenever I got here, Abe was having me double check everything, and so we're moving some stuff around because we do have a lot of drivers that do double duty.
Right.
And so we want to give them a race in between to get transferred safely over. Doesn't slow our show down.
Right.
And yeah, so I was thinking about that. I was like, I didn't think we were running seniors in Pro C, but they're back on the schedule.
No, yeah, he put them back.
Yeah.
They're stable here,
Yeah, and honestly, I was kind of surprised when they weren't on the schedule, and I really think that I'm not going to say they complained, but they voiced the fact that they did not appreciate not being on the schedule.
Yeah.
And so
they willed their way back in.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so we had a good race with them this past weekend.
Very good race. Very entertaining race.
Yeah. And I don't know, we do the choose.
Right.
Hunter Bradley was dominant.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he chose the outside, but he did drive over top
side
with the arrow.
cone, yeah.
And so, because then he tried to go back to the bottom, and I was like, no, man, you went outside.
You got to choose top.
Yeah, you have to go to the top. And you could tell by the way he was looking around and doing this, like I don't think he wanted the top, but
Right.
still, within a half a lap, he was back racing for the lead.
Yeah.
And so just incredible amount of talent he has,
Right.
years of experience in these go-karts.
Yeah.
And he's a force to be reckoned with every time he comes out here.
Yeah, Jason Maddox was turning up the Pro Senior Champ division, and then the last couple races, Hunter showed up, and it started wrenching Jason's plan.
Yeah, and Jason's right there with him.
He's there.
It's just Hunter knows the moves to make.
Yeah.
Did his Polish victory lap this past weekend. It was really cool. I love that victory lap.
Mm-hmm.
That checker flag lap is just so cool every time it happens.
Yeah.
And so we've had just good racing. First time winner in the junior champs of Hadley Murphy.
Yep, Hadley
that
Murphy.
was really cool.
Feature race winner. She did really well. She was fast.
Yeah.
She was really fast.
The girls in that division are really coming on. Like we talked about with JJ, Faith Finney ran really well in that division.
Finished third.
I think the Golfs weren't here.
I did not see that.
And so I want to say I saw them, they messaged the Facebook page. They were somewhere at a drag racing event.
Gotcha.
And so, but either way,
Great race still.
Great race.
Yeah.
Love to see first time winners.
Yeah.
You love to see it just because you never get to experience that first victory again.
Right.
It's always, even in every division you move up to, that first one is just special.
Right.
And so cool to see her get that first win.
Mm-hmm.
She made her victory lap with the checker flag. We had the other carts were down there getting their picture taken. She pulled right into victory lane.
This is my spot right now.
I think Jansen Lundy finished second.
Yep.
And so Jansen was there and they were taking his picture. Nope, right in front of me. Nope, you were second. I'm going to make sure you remind you.
This is my parking spot.
Yeah. So that division, man, it's been one of our more competitive.
Mm-hmm.
We've had a lot of different winners this year.
Mm-hmm.
Jansen Lundy got a first win this year.
Right.
Just super competitive division with those young racers.
Yeah, and that's with all the divisions, honestly.
Yes.
Everybody's been very competitive and very fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
As we said earlier, very entertaining racing all around. Logan, any closing thoughts before we get out of here?
No, just be patient with us. We're going to make the best decision we can for our racers for this weekend. We'll try and make it as early as possible if we do think something's going to prevent us from racing.
Right.
These summer storms have just wreaked havoc the last couple of weeks for racing, and you have these years where it seems like you go a month or two without being able to get a race in because of the storms, and then you have years where it's so freaking hot all the way through the summer you're praying for some rain.
Right.
And so this is South Alabama.
Yep. It's weather right off the Gulf.
Yeah.
Well, guys, we thank you for all y'all do for us from the tower. Following us on all our social medias. The Instagram page is up and running.
Yeah.
So
I'm working on making the TikTok page. I haven't got it finished up yet. I'm not super technical savvy, so I'm working on it.
Me neither. That's why we're doing what we can.
Yeah. We're struggling our way through it, but we appreciate everybody being along for the ride and not being not tearing us to a new one for not getting it right every time.
Yeah. So. If you guys have any comments or thoughts of things we can, add to the show or do, that'd be fun. Throw it in the comment section.
Things you'd like to see.
Yeah.
We're all the time trying to keep it fresh and keep it, moving along and
coming up with ideas. Yeah.
And so probably may try and do a Q&A before the next one.
Yeah, we're definitely going to do a Q&A session. Throw up the email account and just let people throw in some emails, or we'll put it on Facebook or something. But yeah, again, thank you guys for following us on all our socials and on YouTube. And
we really appreciate it.
We appreciate everything you do for us. And we love you guys, and we will see y'all next time.
Thank you.